welcome to our YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing well. Today in this video, let us discuss few PYQs जो कि teaching aptitude से हैं. ये सारे पेपर मैंने ये सारे क्वेश्चंस 2023 के पेपर से लिए हैं मैंने एंड ये सब टीचिंग एप्टीट्यूड से रिलेटेड है. So let us discuss. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन है, एक ऑर्गेनाइज्ड बॉडी ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन जो स्टोर होती है हमारी मेमोरी में, उनको जो कि दैट फैसिलिटेट्स द वे इन विच द न्यू इंफॉर्मेशन इज इंटरप्रेटेड, stored and is recalled is called as, is known as what? So how is the information stored, and when the information is stored in the brain in the form of memory, what do you call it? This is what the question is asking. Is it called as the constructive process? Is it called as schemas, chunks, or association? What do you call the stored information inside the brain? And we all know that Jean Piaget, a very important theorist, talked about this concept. What should be the right answer? The organized body of information stored in memory is known as what? This is basically the word which facilitates in the formation of new information. It is interpreted, stored in the brain in the form of memory. It is called as schemas. So the right answer is schemas. Now, I hope you remember the very important concept that Piaget talked about. Piaget said that we as humans are always in disequilibrium when we first receive the information. That is the process when assimilation happens. So, assimilation सबसे पहले आता है, उसके बाद क्या होता है, disequilibrium हो जाता है ब्रेन में. After that disequilibrium, and I remember that we studied it with the concept of a sack, and I told you that there are two balls, red balls हैं हमारे पास, and there are some green balls, and I told you to place the balls inside the sack. So you place the red balls firstly. This is the old information or the old knowledge that you had. When you place it, the sack will move a little. This means there will be disequilibrium. Then the new information, the new knowledge would also be placed inside the sack. Again, the sack will twirl a little bit. And कुछ time बाद वो सारा sack कैसा हो जाएगा, बिल्कुल stable हो जाएगा. This means that the new knowledge and the old knowledge together will give you what? Will give you the complete knowledge. So we move from assimilation, which means to gather the knowledge. Then there is disequilibrium. Then there is accommodation. You try to accommodate, you try to justify the things that you are studying. There is an amalgamation of new and the old knowledge. And then there is equilibrium again. And all of these small chunks that are placed inside your brain are called as what? They are called as schemas. इन्हें हम क्या बोलते हैं? हम इन्हें बोलते हैं schemas. They are small chunks of information which are called as schemas that are stored inside the brain. So in the previous cycle in 2022, a lot of questions were asked related to memory. किससे रिलेटेड था? मेमोरी से रिलेटेड बहुत पूछे थे. इम्प्लिसिट मेमोरी क्या होता है, एक्सप्लिसिट मेमोरी क्या होता है, प्रोसीजरल मेमोरी क्या होता है, ये ऐसे बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस पूछे गए. This time they started to talk about schemas. Maybe in the next cycle they will talk about accommodation or assimilation. So you should know these important terms that are there. Okay, let us move forward and discuss the second question. Now this is a statement question, so you must read it very carefully. Statement 1 says the ability to generate unusual yet appropriate responses to problems or questions is known as convergent thinking. क्या convergent thinking कहते हैं हम इसको? The ability to produce responses that are based on primarily on knowledge and logic is known as divergent thinking. Do you think both the statements are correct? Both 1 and 2 are correct. 1 and 2 are incorrect. 1 is correct and 2 is incorrect. Statement 1 is incorrect but 2 is correct. And you must read the statements again and again. The ability to generate unusual yet appropriate responses to problems. आप unusual responses create करते हो एक problem के, और questions create करते हो एक problem से. It is known as convergent thinking. Do you think that this is convergent or is it divergent thinking? Convergent thinking के अंदर हम क्या करते हैं, एक हमारे पास एक प्रॉपर टॉपिक होता है और हम वेरियस चीजें उसी के आसपास सोचते हैं. This is the topic around which we revolve. While in divergent thinking, from this topic we start to think about the other sources also. So this means that both the statements, the right answer should be B. Both the statements are incorrect because वो opposite लिख दी गई हैं. यहाँ पे क्या आना चाहिए, divergent thinking, यहाँ आना चाहिए convergent thinking. Divergent thinking होता है to ask questions and problem solving. And convergent thinking is the ability to produce responses primarily अपनी knowledge और logic use कर कर. So the right answer should be B. B is the right answer. And you must remember कि divergent thinking क्या होता है, convergent thinking क्या होता है. With divergent thinking comes imagination, problem solving. You need to know more and more. You are curious. Probing करी जाती है टीचर को probing करके सिखाती है. That is divergent thinking. Convergent is you are landing at a particular topic again and again. You are only thinking about that particular topic. Then we have another question set. So which of the following are the components of pedagogical analysis of teaching and learning? Pedagogical analysis of teaching and learning. And I remember in the class vividly we studied about the three very important concepts, that is pedagogy, andragogy and heutagogy. And I'm sure you also know the right answer. The options are objective formulation, selection of teaching methods and material, content analysis, selection of evaluation devices. इनमें से कौन सा क्या आता है, component कहलाता है for the pedagogical analysis of teaching and learning. Pedagogical means आप छोटे बच्चों को बता रहे हो जिसमें teacher centered approaches use करी जा रही हैं. यहाँ पे teacher is at the center and students are at the periphery. They are looking up to the teachers to learn and to acquire knowledge. So what all are the components here? C becomes the right answer. That is 1, 2, 3 and 4. कैसे? First of all, we have the object, that is the objective that is formulated. In the pedagogical analysis, the teacher is at the center who will decide what to teach, but according to the students. This means that the objective is formulated. This is the first step. Then we do what? Then the selection of teaching methods are chosen. And materials, आप क्या यूज करते हो? Instructional tools या फिर instructional facilities, या you also call them as teaching aids. क्या यूज करते हो? Teaching aids यूज करते हो क्लास में पढ़ाने के लिए. उसके बाद अपना कंटेंट का क्या होता है? एनालिसिस होता है. एंड लेटर देयर इज इवैल्यूएशन दैट इज डन, because without evaluation no process of teaching can be completed. The process of teaching is completed after evaluation only. So C becomes the right answer. A good examination system should do what? Recognize a child's creativity, recognize a child's individuality, encourage rote learning, encourage new thinking. एक अच्छा टेस्ट, एक अच्छा इवैल्यूएशन क्या करता है? A good evaluation system, like एक अच्छा इवैल्यूएशन सिस्टम क्या जज करता है? स्टूडेंट की ग्रोथ और टीचर का पढ़ाने का तरीका दोनों ही क्या करता है? फॉर्मुलेट करता है और चेक करता है. सो इट शुड बी कंटिन्यूअस कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव इवैल्यूएशन, CCE जो हम कहते हैं, जिसे CCE सिस्टम विच इज फॉलोड नाउअडेज एज वेल. सो दैट इज कंटिन्यूअस कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव इवैल्यूएशन. अ गुड इवैल्यूएशन सिस्टम विल डू व्हाट? Let us see the right answer. The right answer is A, which means A, B and D. How? कैसे ये आंसर आया देखते हैं. That good, a test is considered to be good, a evaluation system is considered to be good when वो child की creativity check करें. True, कितना creative है, कैसे आंसर लिख पाता है. 5 marks के आंसर में क्या 10 pages लिख रहा है, कितना creative है, कितने अच्छे आंसर्स लिखता है. तो A तो बिल्कुल सही है. Recognize child's individuality, so true. If अगर वो subjective type of answers लिख रहा है तो हर person अपने हिसाब से लिखेगा. There is individuality that is seen. क्या टीचर्स चाहती हैं आप rote learning करो? No, rote learning and cramming are done at the memory level, at a very latent stage. You should know how to do problem solving. सो मेमोरी लेवल तक नहीं रहना है। अगर गुड एग्जामिनेशन बात होती है तो आपकी कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव होलिस्टिक नॉलेज इज चेक, नॉट ओनली द रोट लर्निंग और द क्रैमिंग. So C is definitely not the right answer. Wherever you see C, you can strike it out. You already have the right answer. It should also encourage new way of thinking. So A becomes the right answer. Then we have a question that is assertion reason से related है. Then what is assertion? No test provides a perfect picture of a student's ability and skills. कोई भी एक ऐसा टेस्ट नहीं है जो perfect picture दिखा दे हमें हमारे चाइल्ड की एबिलिटी और स्किल्स के बारे में. रीजन है अ टेस्ट इज ओनली वन स्मॉल सैंपल ऑफ अ स्टूडेंट्स परफॉर्मेंस. In the light of the above statements, you need to choose the correct answer. Both assertion and reason are correct, and the reason is the correct explanation for the assertion that is given to you. Both assertion and reason are correct, but the reason is not the correct explanation for the assertion. Assertion is correct, but reason is not correct. And assertion is correct but assertion is not correct, but the reason is correct. So the right answer is A. That means both assertion and reason are correct, and also it is the correct explanation. Kaise? So we all know that any good test will give you the way, will tell you what the child has learned. But there are so many unforeseen conditions जो वहां आ सकती हैं. हो सकता है maybe at the day of the examination you were not doing well. This means that no test, no one sheet of paper can decide your future. So no one test can comprehensively talk about everything that a child has. So there are multiple intelligences. हाँ, गार्डनर का ही कॉन्सेप्ट है मल्टीपल इंटेलिजेंसेस. देयर आर 7 टाइप्स ऑफ इंटेलिजेंसेस. नॉट एवरीथिंग कैन बी मार्क्ड बाय एन एग्जामिनेशन. So this means that no test provides a perfect picture of a child's ability and skill. Why? Because test सिर्फ एक small portion of performance देखता है. There are other qualitative, quantitative aspects also that are involved. So A becomes the right answer. Then we have another statement-wise question. So we have this first statement. In teacher-centered learning, the teacher gives up the traditional decision-making role and chooses instead the role of a facilitator who focuses on students' feeling. Statement 2. In learner-centered method, the teacher attempts to see the world as the students see it, creating an atmosphere of empathetic communication. कौन सी स्टेटमेंट सही है? बोथ द स्टेटमेंट्स आर करेक्ट, बोथ आर इनकरेक्ट. स्टेटमेंट 1 is correct, 2 is incorrect. Statement 1 is incorrect, the statement 2 is correct. So read it again. In a teacher-centered learning. Teacher-centered learning मतलब टीचर आपको सिखा रही है. This means it is a directive learning. ये कैसी लर्निंग है? This is a directive learning. कभी कभी पेपर में डायरेक्टिव लर्निंग के नाम से भी आ जाता है. इट इज अ डायरेक्टिव लर्निंग. द टीचर गिव्स अप द ट्रेडिशनल डिसीजन मेकिंग रोल. टीचर क्या डिसीजन मेकिंग नहीं करती है टीचर सेंटर्ड में, एंड चूजेस इंस्टेड द रोल ऑफ अ फैसिलिटेटर. नो, दिस स्टेटमेंट इज रॉन्ग बिकॉज टीचर फैसिलिटेटर नहीं है, गाइडिंग फोर्स है. In a learner-centered method, the teacher attempts to see the world as the students see it, creating an atmosphere of empathetic communication. This is true. This means D is the right answer. Statement 1 is incorrect, but 2 is correct. क्या है इसके अंदर? टीचर सेंटर्ड के अंदर टीचर नहीं करती है गिव अप. Teacher is always the guiding force. Teacher is always the decision-making powerful authority here in the class. Teacher is teaching the students according to herself. वो ही choose करती है कैसे पढ़ाना है. Teacher is not the facilitator. Teacher is a facilitator when the student-centered approach is done and the focus is on the students' feelings then. But if it is a teacher-centered approach, it is a directive teaching where the feelings of the students do not matter and the teacher is the guiding light, the torch bearer and not the facilitator. The statement 2 is very much correct. In a learner-centered method, the teacher attempts to see the world as the child would see it. Sympathy, empathy देके students को बढ़ाती हैं. This means the second statement is true while the first statement is false. It is incorrect. Okay. So this means that the right answer would be what? The right answer would be D. 1 is incorrect and 2 is करेक्ट, ठीक है, राइट आंसर इज डी. So I hope you understood. This is how the questions are asked from teaching aptitude. It is easy. We have done almost everything in the class only. It was a easy thing these questions were also easy to solve. I'll come up with new set of questions because the paper is just around the corner. I hope you have already started to fill up the forms because they are already out. And I hope you are also studying very hard. So have a wonderful day and keep on studying and smiling. Thank you.